So So you went to CSU, but you wanted to go to Nebraska.
So I originally wanted to go to Nebraska, and I went and visited the school when I was deciding. And holy shit, their rugby team was bad.
Oh yeah.
Like, so I love their coach, this guy Nico, who's actually a really good coach. He's coached the Omaha Goats.
Okay.
The players there were just, I was easily the best player when I went my senior year of high school, and I was like, this isn't.
So you went and visited?
Yeah.
Did you actually practice with them?
Yeah.
Oh,
I did a whole session, and I was like,
they're awful.
I'm the best player. Can't do this.
Like, and had you played with any men's clubs or any other colleges?
So I played the whole summer with the Barbos leading into my freshman year. So I think when I visited, it was like right at the end. So I don't know if I actually had played with the men's team yet when I visited.
Got it.
I don't think I had.
Right.
But yeah, they were not good at all.
Okay.
And so I was like, I can't do this. And so I'd seen CSU play before. I knew what they were about.
And they were pretty good.
And it seemed like a cool area. I really didn't think that much about it. I'm not a big thinker, not a big planner. I was just like, I'm gonna go to CSU.
But I mean, looking back, it's like it's close to home.
Yeah.
It's in the best rugby, not the best, one of the best.
Good enough.
Rugby areas in the nation.
Oh yeah, areas for sure. Yeah.
And dude, like you were blessed to be around the Barbos in Denver. Like, if you went to Nebraska, it would have been such a different story.
It would have been horrible. It would have been horrible. I would have never.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you end up playing for the Barbos that summer, though, going into freshman year.
Yeah. Played for the B side.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't make the A side because that team was stacked.
Yeah. Who was on it?
There was so it was Max to Taylor Howden to Hunter Leland to Kyle Hitt. The forwards was like Logan and Shea, and I think Pipes was there.
Yeah.
I think Big Cat Jake Humphrey was still playing that year. Brian Cox, I think, was on the team.
What about the scrummy? Who was?
Bobby was on the team. Ibsen.
Yeah.
And then they had this guy from Scotland, Ross.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, yeah, Ross was there. Yeah, they were stupid good. And I never, in rugby, it's interesting to see the transition of when you get older, how you were talking about not getting 100%.
Right.
The transition to touch versus, because in high school, like I said, we did the contact stuff.
Yeah.
Just dominate.
Right, and then touch, you're like,
Like, I didn't understand rugby. Like, when you start playing touch, you actually start understanding space and manipulation and
for sure,
and actually how to play. So when I went to my first Barbos practice and they were just playing touch, I was like, well, I
had no idea.
I'm getting wrecked.
Getting smoked because you just don't know the flow of the game and just like
different ways to beat a 3-on-2,
right?
Or like different pattern, like all the different things, and it's
such a mind-opening thing where you're just like, because when I played at the academy, we didn't have a good structure. Like it was like, and then you go and play with Barbos and you go, dude,
it's all structured. All these guys know how to tackle. All of them know how to break tackles. That's not what it's about anymore.
No, exactly. And it's just like once you know how to play the structure, you can break the structure and you can exploit things.
It's the safe thing versus the
exactly. So now are you like, you just love it? Like you love the bar? Who are the coaches for the Barbos?
That first year it was Mark Bachhoven, who that was my dude. Bach was my man.
Because he played sevens for the national team, right?
Yeah, I played sevens for the national team. I didn't even know that because I never even watched the national team really play until.
Well, because it wasn't that big.
It wasn't big at all. And
7 years ago.
No, 8 or 9.
8 or 9. Okay.
8 years ago. Yeah.
And that's crazy, right? Because now like sevens is massive.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what sevens is.
I know who Zach Test was. That was the only guy I knew.
And I knew he went to like Bowling Green.
He went to Oregon. He was a receiver at Oregon.
Got it. Somebody was at Bowling Green. Maybe I'm thinking of Rocco Maurer.
He did go to Bowling Green.
I remember seeing Bowling Green on at the CRCs and Rocco Maurer, and I was like, Bowling Green? And so anyway, that's a little side note. But okay, so played for the B side, A side stacked. They didn't even win nationals. They got second.
Yeah, sucks, man.
Or did they get second?
They got third. They lost in the semi and then dominated the third place game Belmont. Sure, Mikey Teo.
Gotcha. Yeah. Story of Barbo's life, man. So we'll get into that more. So now you're just like super pumped going into CSU.
Yeah. Just ready to have college. Like I'm not thinking about any professional kind of rugby at this point.
Right.
I'm just having a good time. I'm being a college student.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to figure out my degree, have a great time.
Play rugby.
play rugby, and like I love it. Like I would show up to everything.
Did you have any aspirations to do anything else in college, like football wise or anything other sports, or did you think about it?
It crossed my mind every now and then.
Okay.
And I never pulled the trigger.
Because like
I kind of wish I did.
Walked on.
I kind of wish I'd tried at some point.
Just to give it a
try to be like tight end.
Yeah.
Or like something.
Just to see what it was.
See what happens.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I did that.
Okay.
But yeah, it never happened.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because I feel like, I guess what was holding you back from that? Were you?
Well, there was, I guess mostly just fear, fear of a new environment, like all
Not
the people
knowing
I
if you
didn't
were gonna
know.
do well.
A bit, because I do like to be good at things.
Yeah.
But I think it's more almost just the social aspect and the aspect of going into a totally new place and a new, like it was just still that fear that I hadn't let go of not wanting to explore like that.
I think rugby is different in that sense. And like in football, like you're fighting for your life all the time, like for a starting spot. Where in rugby you can play so many different positions. I feel like maybe I don't know, because
Football's just so organized too. Like going to an NCAA, like so I've been playing club rugby and I'm going to a club college program, and like trying to step into like a varsity NCAA run, like you have to go through all these avenues of all this shit.
Totally.
I can't just walk up onto the practice field and be like, hey, give me
to
a go.
No, it's like you gotta go to the meetings, you gotta go to
It's months of preparation, and it's just like I wasn't ready for that. I don't
It
think.
is a lot. It is a lot. And it's funny because I did the opposite. I went from college football to rugby, and I was like, "There's like no structure here. Like
Show up and have fun, man.
Or don't show up at all. You know, and you're good. Like you're like people wouldn't show up to practice, and you're just like."
It drove me crazy. Yeah.
And they would start on Saturdays, and you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Like.
Infuriating. That's the
Super infuriating because they would be the best, but it would be like, nah, dog, like can't do that. But so the same thing would happen. CSU, your freshman year there, how were you guys pretty good?
Yeah, we were pretty good. We lost in the first or second round of playoffs to Cal Poly, which is basically how it went every single year I was there. We would win our division. We'd either get first or second with Air Force, and then we'd lose to the varsity or the California team in the playoffs.
Got it.
And we'd get crushed usually, but especially by those varsity teams, they would just crush us.
They're just so locked in, man. Like Cal, Utah, like all those.
Lindenwood, all these smaller schools.
Yeah.
It was fucking annoying too, because they're so cocky about it.
Oh, dude.
That drove me nuts.
Yeah, and in the back of your mind, like, we can be that good. We just had to be like structured, right? Just more structured and just focus more. I feel like
more committed. But also in the front of my mind was like, I am better than every single one of you.
And
you
pisses me
won't
off.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah. But you played after freshman year, did you play on any, played for the Barbos?
Yeah,
I
played for the Barbos.
Was that the year the year I played with the Barbos? After your freshman year or after sophomore year?
Where'd you go to nationals?
We went in Seattle.
Yes, that was no.
Was that after sophomore year? It was the year Magleby came up to you after we lost.
Yeah, it was after sophomore year. So that was the year.
Okay,
that was the year I was doing U20s and stuff too.
Got it. So after your freshman year, you played again with the Barbos in the summer.
So I played a lot with the Barbos during my freshman year too. I was playing 15s with the Barbos.
Okay.
Every year of college, I would practice Monday, Wednesday, Friday with CSU, and Tuesday, Thursday with the Barbos. I would drive down and practice with them.
And
pretty much every day in the spring.
Wow. But not in the fall. Not in the fall.
No, I would take times off.
Yeah.
Whenever they were playing, I would try to get down there.
Gotcha. Were you playing A-side for Barbos?
Yeah, PRP.
Yeah.
I was playing in that.
Dude.
When I had time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's crazy.
I was so small.
And
man.
you were 18, 19?
Yeah, I was playing fucking lock too.
Dude. And these guys were probably 6'3", 6'4", like 260, 250.
Fat boys.
Huge.
Yeah.
What did they think of you? Like when you, I mean, like
squirmy.
That's
squirmy,
dude. Just put your head down. Oh,
that's why I ruined my shoulders too, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, shoulder problems.
Yeah, I've had 2 shoulder surgeries.
Already?
Yeah.
What shoulder surgery?
One was just a labrum reconstruction, just the anchors, and then the other one was lateral J surgery, the big one, the reconstruction of the shoulder socket.
How are they now?
Beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
Feel great.
Yeah. Since that second surgery, the big surgery, it's been fantastic.
That's amazing.
Best surgery I could recommend. The lateral day surgery, if you're having shoulder
Anybody.
subluxations and dislocations, like that thing.
That's why you were doing it. It just kept coming out.
I would suffocate all the time. In Olympic camp, before when we were going into Olympic camp, I tried to catch a ball above my head and my shoulders popped out, raising my arm above my head.
Oh. What year was this?
That was 2016. So that was
4
senior
years
year
ago.
of college, yeah.
Okay. So, I wanted to ask you about, I think it was U20s. You were like, I remember seeing that post, if you wanted to get into it a little bit. Because I read your post and I was just like, oh my God, man. Like, you never know what people go through. And then you just like, oh my gosh, this guy is an absolute warrior. So
my first U20 tryout, this was like a big deal for me because I like I said, I'd been talked to by all the national recruiters and then never heard anything.
Yeah, for sure.
So then I finally get my first invite to an actual camp in California, and I crush the camp, do great. I leave it and I come back to Colorado, and Jason Kelly's the coach who's in Colorado, and one of his friends who I know is the coach for another one of my teams is telling me that he said that I was the best forward in camp. Awesome, great reports.
Yeah.
Then just
this is after freshman year. After
just
sophomore.
during freshman year.
During freshman year.
During
Okay.
freshman year.
And so, I kind of side note, are you able to take time off from school to go do these things, or how did that work?
And that was always a bitch. That was always tough. So it was always work with the professors and just do what I can. It was easier at the beginning, but then when I started going at the start of a semester to teach professors and being like, I'm gonna be gone half the time. Can you work with me? And so that was tough.
And what would they say?
I had to drop a lot of classes. I had
Yeah.
to just sort my schedule out, find teachers I took the same history teacher, like, probably for 8 different classes, because she was willing to work with me
Right.
and do what I had to do.
So you would just talk to him and be like, look, I'm going to try for nationals here. Like, can you please?
Can we make this work?
Yeah.
There are some who are like, no, I don't think we can. Okay,
Right.
fair enough. I'll drop and get nothing else and work my schedule out that way. I ended up doing online classes my last 2 semesters.
At CSU.
Yeah. My second to last 2, and then my final semester I finished up what I had to finish up like there. So I was able to work it out where I was do what I can here, do what I can online, and then finish what I had to there.
Because were you at the OTC your senior year?
For like those 2 semesters I was doing online, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So going back to freshman year, your first like shot at it, you went to camp, and camp was in California,
Yeah.
and you crushed it. Jason Kelly was there. He was the head coach, or going to be the head coach. And then you come back, and is he the coach of the Barbos right now, or is he playing in Barbos?
No, he's just doing the U20 stuff. I think he's starting his gym up. I think he's not really in rugby in Colorado as much.
Got it. Okay. So now we're back in Colorado.
Yeah, and so then I go back to school and I just start getting really sick. Like I just start dealing with, I'm having to go to the bathroom like 5 times a night. My stomach cramps are going through the roof, shitting blood. Just like terrible time. It's like stress of college, stress of this national team, stress of
rugby. Did you have
rugby.
any idea what was going on?
No clue what was going on, and I was just such an idiot where I didn't care. Like,
Well,
I was so in the moment. I was just like, okay, this is happening.
Well, it was your first time you've been given the opportunity.
Yeah. Well,
and you were
that
just
too.
like, I don't want to.
But this was like even at school. Like I wasn't telling. Like I didn't tell anyone anything.
Not even your parents.
No. I was just.
Who? Okay, got it.
I was just going through school.
And when did this start, and how long did it go before you actually brought it up to somebody?
Oh, it went about 5 months before I brought it up to someone.
And it happened like every day.
Yeah. And so then it happened. It was happening for a bit, and it was getting progressively worse. Like we're getting progressively just worse and worse and worse. So I went to the next camp was in Vegas, and after it had been happening for like a month, I went to the camp in Vegas, and it was starting to get hard to eat. It was starting to get harder to do things. I was able to manage my way through
and
camp.
Nobody knew about it.
And no one knew.
Okay.
And I was able to manage my way through camp in Vegas, but it wasn't nearly as good as the first camp. And this was also the first time I was learning all this rugby stuff. Like I was saying, this is the first time I've learned pattern of play. So I'm trying to take all this shit on board.
And
I can't sleep, and it's getting harder to eat. And
so you couldn't sleep?
Well, because it would wake me up. It would wake me up and have to go to the bathroom all the time.
Like you said, like 4 or 5 times a night.
Well, probably at that point, probably 4 or 5.
Oh my god.
So then I go back to school. Keeps getting worse. I'm also drinking heavily. It's freshman year of college. Doesn't help.
I was gonna say, eating Twinkies and
Yeah.
and
Just being a
Chef
fucking
Boyardee,
moron.
ramen noodles and drinking, and your stomach's just like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crush you, whatever.
We're having serious fights. And so then I go to the final camp in Minnesota, and at this point I'm barely like a walking person. I'm so anemic, my skin's so white I can't run more than 100 meters. It's like I'm throwing up after after trainings or anything.
And do they see this? Do people see
No,
this?
I'm really good at hiding things.
Dude.
So
Wow.
I didn't tell anyone. I was just trying to be the tough guy, trying to push my way through. Like, I don't know. I guess, yeah, the mental aspect of don't show weakness.
For
probably.
sure.
And then,
I mean, did you learn that from somebody? Or I guess in your mind, why was it such a big thing for you to just keep going? Like,
see, that's getting deep there. I've thought about that answer quite a bit, I think, and I actually don't have a